Gerald Everett Jones is the author of the art history novel Bonfire of the Vanderbilts. Find help for self-published authors and free podcasts at getpublishedраdio.com.
Today's topic is historical fiction is all about today. And I'll be using a thrilling example from a notorious Verdi opera. So, we're going to the opera. I want you to consider the notion that historical fiction is really all about today. The example I'll use is actually from an opera, Nabucco by Giuseppe Verdi. It's one of the most beautiful choruses ever composed. The Chorus of the Hebrew Slaves. The Italian song title is Va Pensiero, loosely translated, Let Us Reflect. It's about Jewish people 3,000 years ago enslaved in Babylon. Quite simply and movingly, they're singing about how much they miss home and how they'll probably never get back. Nabucco has traditionally been an enormously popular opera. One remarkable performance was in March of 2011 at the Opera House in Rome. Typically, this chorus gets a standing ovation. The show stops while the audience claps and cheers. On this night, Maestro Riccardo Muti stopped the show and addressed the audience, and he gave them a stern lecture. Muti drew an analogy between the chorus of the Hebrew slaves and the fact that the Italian government had just cut the budget for the National Opera. And he was saying, if you don't fund the opera, we will be missing our culture just the same way the Jews were longing for their homeland. This is our national identity. This is our story. This is who and what we are. He quoted a line in the chorus, O mia patria si bella e perduta. O my country so beautiful and so lost. He was scolding the audience, many of them rich donors, but particularly the government of President Silvio Berlusconi. Then Muti instructed the audience that the chorus would be sung again. They all had the lyrics printed in their programs, and he invited them to sing along. The audience was back on their feet, and they joined the company in singing the encore. There were tears in some eyes, and it concluded as people tossed their programs into the air in what looked like a shower of confetti. Now, this score was not only inspiring, it was a deep throwback to the history not only of the Hebrew slaves, but also of this opera itself, and the more recent history of Italy. In the first year this opera was performed in 1842, the audience also demanded an encore. But at that time, Italy was ruled by the Austrians, and encores in the opera house were strictly forbidden. But this time, Verdi got one. So ever since, in the mind of the Italians, this chorus has become an anthem of defiance. When Verdi composed this, Italy was going through a period that historians call the Resurgence, the Resurgence. It was the reunification of Italy, which was a collection of fragmented regions with a weak central government, which left a power vacuum such that the Austrians ended up dictating to them. Of course, Italy wanted to be its own country, break away, and assert its national identity. This chorus became the rallying cry for the 5 Days of Milan in 1848, in effect saying, let's be Italy. We want our soul. We want our country back. So, in Verdi's day, were there tears for 3,000-year-old slaves? No. They identified with the powerful emotions for their immediate personal reasons. Presumably, this is why Verdi picked the material. Or perhaps his subconscious just found a way to invest his everyday concerns in the work. Now, in our time, it happens again. Muti picks this opera for the night when he decides to chastise the government for gutting the arts. And during this encore, with the audience joining in, even the performers are starting to cry. Is Muti trying to send a message about 3,000-year-old people? No. Is he trying to defy the Austrians? That fight is over. He cares about funding for the opera and how much that means to the Italian national spirit today. Now, when the audience is singing and crying, are there tears for the opera? Well, perhaps the singers in the chorus. No, the audience is crying from feelings of deep patriotism for Italy. This performance was during the 150th anniversary of the Resurgence. This song was the unofficial national anthem, and since then, Italy has been devastated by 2 world wars. After World War II, people were impoverished, and it was essentially a broken country. And today, they're still crazy and with challenges, but relatively prosperous. To be an Italian is to resonate with Verdi. So, no matter what you pick, whether it's Moby Dick or the historical novel you're going to write this year. Remember, it is all about today. Feel that sense of responsibility. Feel that sense of curiosity and inspired awe. Ask yourself, why am I so passionate about this story? What is it about this piece of history that tugs at my heart? If you've been listening to this show, you probably already know some of the story behind why I wrote Bonfire of the Vanderbilts, about a 100-year-old painting I saw in the museum. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's about the 1% of yesteryear. It's about arrogance and power and love and betrayal. It's about how the mighty can fall. Here, listen to the slaves as they sing. They are choosing not just to complain and give up, but to make their song loud and defiant. Either like Solomon to the fates, you present a sound of crude lament, or the Lord inspires in you a song which takes courage into the depths.
Music selection Chorus of the Hebrew Slaves 2 by Audio Networks U.S. Incorporated, ASCAP, courtesy of SoundDogs.com.
Get Published is all about self-publishing and self-expression. And getting published and the ease of getting published these days is really all about exercising the First Amendment in this free society of ours. What we need these days are more ideas. Even though we're deluged with information, we need more good ideas. And we need debate about those ideas. Book-length debate, not just snippets that are posted on social media, not just selfies and cute pictures of your pets, the things that you really think. And remember, because in self-publishing there are no gatekeepers out there, that is the good news and that is the bad news. So hire some good help. Perhaps you found that here. You may find it on the website, whatever you're looking for, whether it's an editor or a book designer or somebody to help you promote. But hire good help, get good advice, and by all means, please get published.
The Get Published radio show with Gerald Everett Jones is produced by Runkey Productions.
Our producer is Lori Marple, and your announcer is Bill Navarro. Music by Jason Shaw. You'll find links to support services on our website, getpublishradio.com. So whether you're an author, a publisher, or a self-promoter, get help at getpublishradio.com. And thanks for listening.